Buongiorno. Well, that's it. That's the episode.
Alright,
It was nice seeing you again, Harry.
Andrew,
Alright, bud. See you later, bro.
good speak. Cool.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Said Enough podcast. The podcast where we say the truth on how we feel. Probably going to piss off a multitude of people. I don't know if I use that word correctly. In the process. Welcome back. It's been a while, I think.
Yeah, it has been a while.
We just had like really busy schedules. Like we've had clashing schedules.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder than you think to record a podcast, especially when you have real life shit to do.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But this episode isn't about the present day or the future. It's about the past. It's about nostalgia. Am I right?
You are right.
What brought us about was we just kept talking about certain shows, and it just brings up this feeling within you that you just want to go back to those days. You know, the days of the summer where Harry discovered Dexter.
What year was that? Do you remember?
No, I have no clue, my friend.
Oh,
Absolutely no clue.
yeah, and I can't mute myself as well, so that's gonna be really hard, especially when I have to cough throughout the whole fucking, you know.
Don't worry, it's natural. It's whatever. It's whatever it is.
Yeah.
I have been recently watching some shows that bring a lot of nostalgia to my life. Sort of reliving their moments. And the problem with that is that I've been currently watching TV shows, but I went back to this TV show that I'd watched a long time ago, and I ended up just feeling lost without it again. So I just
What was that show?
it was grim. I couldn't go back to just watching my normal TV shows because it was just, I don't know, it just affected me for some reason. And I think it was just because I love Grimm, and I'm really sad that it ended. I felt like it could have gone for so much longer. Maybe people, thought it was a bit boring, but I thought like after shit went bad and then shit got good again, they could have carried that on and it would have been great.
Sure.
Um,
How long did it last?
6
Grim.
seasons, but it was only 13 episodes in the 6th season, where there was like 22 to 24. And the thing is, the creative writers actually said we were worried that it was going to be a 22 episode one because we've run out of ideas. They ran out of ideas. I mean, I guess there's only so many ideas you can do when it comes to like these fairy tales style shows, but
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they did run out of ideas, but it would have been
When
nice.
did they finish it?
2017 or 16?
Really? Okay. Not that long ago.
Yeah,
then.
not too long ago, but the first season is what makes it nostalgic. Because at the end of the day, 6 seasons means 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm 20 now, right?
Yeah.
So I think it ended in 2016. Let's say it was 2016, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, didn't we search? Wasn't it 2017?
Wait, they ended, yeah.
I think we searched.
Ye-
Um,
I can't remember. Hold on.
2017. Okay, it ended 2017, right?
Okay.
6 years, 2011, right? It was March 2011.
Really? That's when it started?
No, it's when it ended.
What, it ended
Oh no,
in
started. Sorry,
2011?
started. It must right. It started. Oh, right. No, actually, no. I got to 3
Wow,
seasons.
man.
I got to 3 seasons. So that was obviously 20.
Well, you didn't watch...
I got to the
you didn't
3rd
watch-
season. That's where I caught up with the show. It was.
What, you rewatched the whole 3 seasons and then started from there?
Well, the thing is, I hadn't watched it before. I'd seen it on Netflix, and I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a go."
What year was this when you...
Well,
what year are we
we
talking
were in
about?
school.
Okay.
I think it was a day
year
that I
9?
was ill. I was like really ill, like really down, like really ill,
Yeah.
mentally and physically ill.
You just wanted to escape and shit.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, I'll give this show a go. And it was so good, and I loved it. And then
You got immersed.
I thought they'd ended it after the 3rd season, And then it took me about 2 months until I realised, until I like sort of searched up, I realised, wait, it's on TV in a month. It's coming back in a month.
Like a new season.
Yeah, season 4. And I was like, oh shit, I'm caught up with the show. The show's still going. And then that's when I caught up with it. And then when it ended, when it came to season 6, I just felt like every other Grimm fan that was sad to see it end, because I'd lived through those moments.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Sure. So you rewatched that recently?
Yeah, I did. I'm so tempted to rewatch it again. It's such a great it's such a great show.
Damn, man. I don't know if I could do that. Watch.
The thing is, I love it. I absolutely love the show. Like, I love how
when
it
you know
develops.
what happens, you know.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You know what happens, but nothing boring and disappointing happens.
No,
that's what I think. That's what I love about it.
You expect it, you know.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. I know who dies, I know who lives, but I know it's not disappointing like Dexter was when you rewatch it. You don't think, oh, I'll skip this season, it's a bunch of bullshit. This was a show that just, I loved it. I watched every single episode from start to finish. No skipping. Oh, it was probably one of the greatest times I've had this year. This year. Sorry, this year. One of the greatest times I've had in a long time, especially since Christmas.
Yeah.
So.
After the whole.
Yeah, after the whole bullshit. So yeah.
So what else? Have you watched anything else recently then, or has it just been Grimm?
Well, it was Grimm.
Nostalgia wise,
recently, sort of, yeah. I've been watching a little bit of Dexter, but I won't rewatch all of it.
Yeah, I see. It's been a long time since I've watched that.
I'll watch up to like the 2nd season, and then I'll think to myself, all right, I'm just gonna stop watching it now. Yeah, it's sort of like that's something that when I'm like, oh, what should I watch? Keep scrolling through Now TV, Netflix, YouTube, Now TV, Netflix. I'm scrolling through, and then I'm like, fuck it, I'll put Dexter on. That's when Dexter goes on. I love the show. We've had so many great memories with the show.
Yeah.
So many in-jokes with the show.
So many, yeah.
So many. Like an hour's worth of conversations, just joke after joke. Even like things that don't actually happen in the show.
Don't forget, it lasted for 8 seasons, so there's a lot of material.
8 years. 8 whole years, imagine that. And
8 whole years of Dexter.
Oh yeah, I've recently seen Jennifer was it Carpenter, wasn't it? Jennifer Carpenter.
Yeah. I
recently saw her on Jimmy Fallon. She was promoting something.
Do you know if she's related to John Carpenter at all, the Halloween director?
I have no idea, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly, no idea. I don't really look at family trees, to be honest.
No, but it would be kind of ironic.
What's also kind of cool is that I started the Vampire Diaries when I was depressed.
What year was this? 2013. 13, 14.
2 years. Almost 3 years. Hold on, I'm just trying to do the math. Hold on.
2015.
Yeah, between 2014 2015. I found my sister introduced me to the Vampires. She did this to me with Gossip Girl. I took the piss out of her. Sat down. She explained a little few things.
That
she sat down. I sat down. I was bored. I was doing nothing. She explained a lot of things, and then I was just kind of watching it. And then I was like, oh, do you know what? What's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
And she put the next episode on, and I was just like saying, oh damn.
Yeah.
And then I started watching it myself. I'm telling you, man, like, there are plenty of guys out there that love it and just don't admit it.
I'm sure there are, but it's not my thing at all.
Do you know what it is?
I would have no problem admitting it.
It's just all the fucking twists and turns that the show gives you. That's what.
Really? Is that what it is?
Yeah, but anyway, so I watched The Vampire Diaries, and I genuinely enjoy it. Yeah. It's a great show. I wouldn't understand any hate towards it. A bit cheesy at the beginning, but it gets a bit darker.
I've never seen it, so.
And they had to spin off the originals, and then that's got a spin off itself with Legacy. So it's really nice to keep that sort of that nostalgia always stays there with you, because there's always references to what's in the part, like to the past and stuff like that, and so that's nice. So technically, I've been watching something that's related to something that's quite nostalgic for me. I have
Sure.
rewatched The Vampire Diaries before, like twice, 2 more times. The originals I've watched like 4 times, because I just love the originals. I love Klaus, I love Elijah. You'd
Sure.
like Elijah, because he's just like, you'd love Elijah, because he's that
Yeah.
kind of character that we both sort of love.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been doing some research about Dexter, and do you know what brought it up? Do you know what brought this up was
Go
when I
ahead.
mentioned that Michael C. Hall said he would be down for doing a Dexter series again if the
Oh, yeah.
storyline was good. And then you were like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I was like, "Yo, we should actually talk about that in a podcast. On a podcast episode." And you were
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." And then I was like, and then we started talking about Teen Wolf, and I was like, "Oh, maybe we should just talk about nostalgic stuff." Because then I started listening to like old TV show theme tunes. I was like, "Yo, we need to do an
Yeah.
episode on nostalgic stuff." Because I was listening to the Angel theme tune, wasn't I? And then playing
Yeah.
the Dexter theme tune for both of us.
Yeah. The
Oh,
opening song and shit.
I just want to
That's
start
so
my day
good.
like Dexter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice squeezy fresh orange juice, nice cup of coffee.
The same routine every single day. The same fly landing on
Do you
your
know what I
face.
loved about the show was when he had a kid, and then it changed to the intro.
You know what? I liked
Messy
that.
shirt,
I did. I
and
liked that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's tired. He had a messy shirt. His like laces, bro. I
Even
love
this
that.
song.
Yeah, man. The song. Do you know the whole soundtrack to Dexter? I
The
think was
soundtrack to
amazing.
Dexter was yeah. It was
For a
it was-
TV
it
show,
was perfect.
it
wasn't
was amazing. Like, so you
It
got
was
these,
perfect
yeah,
for
you
the
get
show.
these iconic like theme tunes, but Dexter overall soundtrack,
The
even
ending
during,
song.
yeah,
The ending song
ending,
as well was fucking amazing.
yeah, you got the ending, and you've got literally like in between episodes, like just the
Yeah,
soundtrack
100%.
all
Yeah.
together was amazing. Just like,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh.
rewatch Dexter. You know, actually, I'm gonna rewatch it. Not
Dude,
the whole show. but-
yeah, just do it for old time's sake. Watch the first
Yeah.
season, the
Mm,
golden age of Dexter.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, right? People are like, oh, you can never beat a first season. I'd say
You know,
that's
not
not
necessarily.
true.
I
That's
mean,
not true.
yeah, of course.
Because the first season, I'd say the first season of Grimm is
It all
not as
comes down to
good.
preference, though. You
It's
know what I'm
not
saying?
as good as the second, third, fourth season. I don't think,
Mm.
because
I mean, it all comes
yeah.
down to preference and shit. You know.
Well, yeah, it's opinions, but you know,
I
only
know.
our opinions.
I know what
matter.
you mean. That does get thrown out and shit. Like, but I don't believe in that. That's,
Yeah,
that's
I
a pretty
don't-
broad statement.
I mean, there are some series where there are literally golden series where it becomes like their first series is like the golden series.
Freaks and Geeks, the first and only season, which was
That's the
still
only
to this
one.
day.
So it
Yeah.
will always be golden.
Yeah.
No, I'd
I
say
honestly,
like
I truly wish they'd bring back that show. That talk about nostalgia, Freaks and Geeks is it's just a perfect show. It's a
yeah,
coming of age story. You got Seth Rogen, Jason Segel, and what's the other dude?
James
Fucking,
Franco.
you know the guy. That's him. Yeah. You've got those guys in there, and it's just the show. You watch them grow over the season and whatnot, and there's like 26 episodes. Obviously, it only lasted 1 year, but it was still to this day one of my favorite TV shows ever.
I'll tell you a TV show that ended quite recent, but is very nostalgic for me. It's called Bones.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Never seen it.
It started in 2005. Yeah, 2005.
What is that? What is it about?
It's about a forensic anthropologist, right? An anthropologist
The
studies
hell?
the culture and like the bones of like. But she's She based. Right, it's hard to explain, but she can tell how someone was murdered, their age, their weight, their gender, and all this by their bones, right?
Mm,
Even their ethnicity.
oh, damn.
And she works with the FBI, specifically Agent Seeley Booth, David Boreanaz,
Shia LaBeouf.
aka Angel. No, Seeley Booth.
Nah. Oh.
Shia LaBeouf, yeah, imagine. Where the fuck is that guy?
I watched him earlier on Dumb and Dumber. He
Yeah.
starred in that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember my mum watching it. These are the sort of shows that I used to watch with my mum and my old stepdad.
Yeah.
He was the one that got me into Angel. He was never he loved Angel, but he was not that big of a fan of Buffy itself. But he did obviously watch Buffy first, and he was the one that got me into Angel. And I knew Angel was a Buffy spin-off.
Sure. Yeah.
But I never watched Buffy until my later years. Like I watched Angel when I was like 8. You might be thinking, why is this guy letting this kid watch a vampire show? When I was like, no, don't freak out. I wasn't scared. I loved it. Angel was my hero, bro. I wanted to be Angel. I still do to this day. I've always got that sense in me that I just want to be that fucking that dark anti-hero. And and that I think that's where I fell in love with that whole bad guy but good guy deep down. If that makes sense, like he doesn't give a shit about anyone else, but he's not a horrible person. Essentially, he's not evil. He's just a dick.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So yeah, like so that's what got me into Bones, because he was part of it. I was like, oh shit, it's him. And then he's in a show now called SEAL Team, which is a good show. So there's so much nostalgia just punching me in the face recently.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I watched the show called.
No. The main character from Grimm, a character called Juliet and Nick, they were together at the beginning, right? They don't end up together in the end. But they're married in real life, and they've recently had a kid, and that was nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was nice to see.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, go on. What were you saying?
So I watched it. Obviously, this is a UK show, so obviously people in the US or other countries wouldn't know. But there's a show in the UK called Cold Feet, and it just recently came back. It started in the 90s and whatnot. It went for about five series. Came back in 2016, I think. And then they literally series 8 is just finished. Hopefully they bring back series 9, but I can't tell you how much I've fallen in love with that TV show.
What is it?
It's basically it's a much better version of Friends, and I know people will get triggered and shit, but to me that ain't even close. Like, it doesn't touch it. It doesn't even touch it for me. Like, Friends to me is like a child kind of show, like but basically this is the same sort of thing, but they're like there's 3 couples, and it's like you follow their lives and whatnot and stuff that goes on, and it's a dramedy, so it's a drama and a comedy. And it's just the story, the character development is near on perfect. And you see them grow over every series and whatnot, and there's some pretty heavy stuff that goes on too. So I just binge watched it, and I've fallen in love with the show. It's great.
Yeah, I'll actually read you a paragraph about this show. ITV will air the last episode of Cold Feet tonight, Monday, February 18th at 9 PM on ITV, leaving fans wondering whether there will be another series of Cold Feet. ITV have not revealed any plans for another series, but the signs are good from ITV. The series will return in 2020 for Series 9. Cold Feet's head writer, however, has made some comments suggesting he may not return for another series. See, that is where the problems lie in a TV show. When the original writers quit the show. I can't remember what show it was. I think it might have been Dexter.
Okay.
Can't remember if it was, but there was a show where the original writers just quit, and they carried it on, and the show died after like 2 seasons of having the non-original writers. I'm trying to think what show it was. I'm really trying hard.
There's been a few, I think.
Yeah, but this was like a big series, a really big series. Oh, I can't remember now. It's bugging me. I might have to look it up.
If it comes back to you.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll
But
let
yeah,
you know.
no, I recommend to any UK viewers, if you haven't seen it, check out
Or
Cold Creek. It's on
anyone that
Netflix.
appreciates British humor. I feel like
Yeah, and it's
Americans
not
don't
just like
get
a
British humor.
cringy. It's not like something you'd watch nowadays. Like if they brought out a sitcom now, it'd kind of be like really corny and just
Yeah,
kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like there's not you don't they don't make them like they used to. Like I hate to use that, but it's true. Like, but yeah, I definitely watch that because you actually get invested in the characters and whatnot, which is
yeah.
the best kind of TV. You know?
Oh yeah, I understand 100%. Like, well, there's a few things ending. Uh, this year in the fall, as Americans call it.
Okay.
There's the last series of Fuller House, which is a spin-off to Full House after like
Yeah,
28 years, I think it was.
yeah.
Um, they brought it back, and obviously the kids are growing up and stuff. They have their own kids. That's ending after season 5. I don't know why it's ending. Maybe because they're just like, oh, let's just move on with our lives.
Sure.
Um, okay, whatever. It's ending sad, but the biggest thing that's ending for me is The Big Bang Theory. Yeah, I know it's not as good as it
Wow.
used to be.
Is that still going?
It's not as good as it used to be, but at the end of the day, the people, mate,
Oh,
it's been
how
going on
many
for
seasons have
12
there been?
years, bro. 12 years, right? I'd
So,
say season 3, right, was when I caught up to it, or season 2. Henry, you know Henry. Henry
yeah,
showed me them
Henry.
when I stayed around his
Shout out
house.
to Henry.
Shout out to Henry. Um, he showed me them around his house, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll find some more. I'll find the more episodes, and then I found out they were on E4. I remember that.
Yeah,
And then I started catching up with them on E4 because they'd come out like 2 months later than they would on like CBS or whatever they're on now.
yeah.
Um, and then I'd watch them on that. Obviously, I watched
I
them now.
guarantee. Dude, how long has that been going on? How many seasons?
12. It's 12 season, last season
I
this year.
guarantee the last like 6 have been fucking so bad because they must have run out
No,
of
do you know
material.
what? They actually haven't.
Really?
They're not the same, but I'd say they had
Is
a
it
really
still the
shit, boring
original
period.
cast?
Yeah. They
Damn,
had a
they've been there for 12 years.
they had like quite a bit of a boring period, but then they sort of picked it up again, in my opinion.
Okay.
And that's ending this year, which I'm quite sad about, and I'm really scared to see what happens in the last season because I feel like a bunch of shit's happened, and I hope that I see some good stuff. Maybe like Sheldon and Amy have a baby, or Leonard and Penny have a baby, and like stuff like that. I'm really intrigued to see what happens in the series. But because that's been going on 12 years, think about it. 12 years ago, it was created. 2 years later, I discovered it basically. So
Okay.
10
Oh,
years
okay.
pretty
Oh.
much. I've been watching that show.
Damn, that's pretty crazy.
Um, yeah, and it's quite sad to see it end. But at the end of the day, it's nice to see that they're not going to just keep going for the sake of it. And the reason they're ending is because Jim Parsons, who plays Sheldon Cooper, is quitting the show. They offered him
Right.
a bunch, millions of dollars to stay, and he refused. That's how much that he's not in it for the money. He just wants to move on now.
Yeah.
And they said
Yeah.
they refused. They said no, we're not making the show without him. We're not making the show without Sheldon like ever.
Isn't he like the main guy?
Well, not really. Leonard, Penny, and him are, but they could easily carry on, but they decided not to, and I respect that 100%.
Suppose it wouldn't be the same, you know?
Yeah, it just really wouldn't, and like that's really sad because you think, oh, it's not that, it can't be that nostalgic. 10 years ago, I pretty much discovered this.
Yeah.
I'm 20. Well, no, I wouldn't actually know. Was it 10? Actually, I don't know. I don't know what series it was. We were in school. I think it might have been basically like 9.5. I think I was either 11 or 12 when I discovered it.
Ah, okay. That's
And it got me through my. I've talked
Yeah,
about this on my Twitch stream before.
Yeah, I remember you saying this to me.
It got me through my
loads of
darkest
times.
periods. Like
Yeah.
when I was 15, was just when my depression and my anxiety, like decided they wanted to, like come to life, and
Yeah.
And the thing is, it kind of runs in the family. I believe it's not just me.
Really?
My sister has really bad anxiety. My mum has depression and anxiety. My nan has anxiety. Um,
Fuck me, man. That's fucking.
and
That goes up.
so it was a show that just got me through this dark period. Same with Grimm. Same with Fresh
Yeah.
Meat. Do you remember that show, Fresh Meat?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember once I was ill off school.
I watched.
I was
loads-
up all night coughing, and I was watching this show, and it got to like
Yeah.
6 in the morning. My mum came into my room and was like, "Oh, how you feeling?" And I was just like, "Not well," like that.
Damn.
I was basically like coughing my lungs out, and she was like, "All right, cool." She was like, "Just try and get
Yeah.
some sleep," and it was like, it was really weird. It was sort of like summer, like it was sunny, it was sort of light outside, but it was nice. It was
Yeah.
like a really great temperature in my room. I
And
was
you
really
knew you didn't
snuggled
have
up.
to go in.
I was
you
really
were just
snuggled up
chilled.
in my bed. I was relaxed. I was ready to go to sleep. But I was just watching Fresh Meat, and like those are the kind of shows that stick with you. Like Angel stuck with me because I bonded with my stepdad because of that. And
Really?
yeah, and me and my mum would watch it. My mum kind of questioned it one day. She was like, "Oh, does he really watch it?" Same with True Blood. True Blood is such a gory show, such a sexual show, but I still watched it because I loved it.
Mm.
Like, I would always watch it, and then my stepdad would always let me watch it, and my mum would be like, "He's not supposed to be watching this," and he's like, he loves it,
Yeah.
and I loved it. I'm not. It didn't affect me at all. It didn't make me want to rip people's spines out. I mean, I want to do it anyway, but
Yeah.
didn't fuck me up or anything. It was a great
Didn't
show.
fuck you up more than you already were.
Yeah, I was already broke. I was a broken child, unloved by my father. What can I do? But no, I loved it, man. I love these. There's so many shows from your childhood that
Oh yeah.
didn't even end that long ago. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't think about it, do you? You think 8 seasons. You think, oh, not that long. That's 8 whole years. Because people don't think about the years between the seasons,
Yeah.
do they?
A lot of the time they do it yearly and whatnot.
So 8 bloody years, and like it's madness. And like
Yeah.
the shows that you love and you've grown up with are starting to end now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
All
I think
having-
The Big Bang Theory is probably one show that I've grown up watching that is gonna finish, and then the rest of the shows that I've watched when I'm grown up. That's not me choking up because I'm sad. I have like indigestion because I drank coffee and it's giving me heartburn.
Yeah, good save. Oh,
I
that's
just love Sheldon and Leonard and Penny. No, I'm not. I've actually genuinely got heartburn.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh,
Take your Gaviscon.
I ain't got any Gaviscon. No, I always get heartburn.
Yeah, it's not nice.
But yeah, man, like, what? Alright, you guys gotta understand. Me and Harry bonded. We bonded the most over Dexter. I'd say we became really good friends
TV
because we were both
show-wise.
practically loners, and like, and then I found Dexter. And I was like, "Yo, Harry, watch Dexter. Watch Dexter." He's like, "Yeah, I've heard of it." And I was like, "Watch it." He's like, "All right." And then he messaged me out of the blue one day and just said, "Oh, I gave Dexter a try. I love it. I love it so much." And then I waited for him to catch up, and then we started making little in-jokes, little references and stuff.
I honestly don't remember how I started watching that.
I think you said you saw it on Netflix, and I was like, "Yeah, I've watched. I think what was it? I was on the 3rd season or something, or the 4th
Yeah.
season. I was like, "Yo, watch it." I said I took a break from it. I was like, "All right, I'll wait for you to catch up. I'll let you finish season 4, and then." And then we'll basically try and watch as much sort of at the same time as we can,
Yeah.
so we can talk about it. And we talked about it all night, all the time. Like we talked about it, like we loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were obsessed with it.
Yeah,
for a good
literally, we're obsessed with it.
years.
Not like crazy obsessed with it. We're gonna kill people like Dexter.
No,
we just loved it.
we would love Dexter. Yeah, it was a huge.
We loved the
just a
character
big
of
fan.
Dexter. He was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, we loved
Such a
Dexter.
great pick as well. I'm so glad Michael C. Hall was the cast.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can't imagine anyone
Yeah,
else.
you
no.
can't, can you? It's really weird. They say that about most characters, but you just really
Well, it's
can't
like
imagine.
Del Boy though.
Yeah, Del Boy. You couldn't imagine
Del
someone
Boy
else.
is no.
Even Rodney.
That's one. That yeah, Rodney and Del and Rodney. Those are two that you can't no matter, you just cannot replace.
Oh, that's a good show. My dad used to watch those.
Only Fools and Horses is my
You know they're on
favorite
Netflix
TV show
now.
of all time. Yeah, I've got the box set. It's my favorite television show in history. Like, I love that show.
It's
That's
old.
it.
It's old school, like
Old
British
school
humor.
British, yeah.
That's
And that why I love it. You'll never see that again as well.
no, you won't.
You'll never ever ever see that again ever.
No, it's
Like,
a shame.
if
It's a
I
good
had
show.
to choose one show to watch, it'd be that. Like,
What, for
just
the rest
'cause
of your life? If it was for the rest
yeah,
of my life,
yeah, because I can always go back to it, and it always puts a smile on my face. I can be down, and I put an episode of that on, and I guarantee it will lift me up. Even if it's just a little bit, it will.
see, if I had to watch a show for the rest of my life, that's really difficult to me because
Sure.
so many different shows have so many different meanings to me.
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory was there. Like gave me entertainment, gave me smiles when I was down in my the darkest of places in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, I was suicidal and everything. I hated myself. I wanted to die, and that was what sort of pulled me through because I just loved the show and it gave me this great feeling because I knew that this show it was great. It was great comedy. It was so stupid sometimes. It made me laugh and then you got like Angel. You have flashbacks to just bonding with someone. And
Yeah.
just sitting there. True Blood. I was just sitting there and watching True Blood as a kid, and then your mum coming in going, "He's not supposed to be fucking watching it." And you just sitting there giggling along because you're not supposed to be watching it, but you're watching it anyway because you think you're an absolute fucking gangster.
Yeah.
And and then there's things like Only Fools and Horses, which put a smile on your face because it's old school British humour, and you'll never get anything like it again.
Yeah.
And then you got things like Grimm. Grimm was there when I didn't have anything to watch, and it was like a hidden gem that I had found.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because these American shows are put on American channels, so you don't really
Yeah,
come across
exactly.
them until they come on Netflix and stuff.
The problem is I'm pretty sure they really crack down on the DNS codes and whatnot now as well.
Oh yeah,
So,
you can't use a
Yeah.
VPN for Netflix or anything like that. They won't allow
are you
that.
serious, man?
Yeah, they don't allow that anymore. I understand why they do
fuck.
it, but
Why?
it's unfair because the UK Netflix gets. Did you know the UK
U-
Netflix
UK Netflix is shit.
gets 2,500 less shows and movies compared to the American,
Yeah, it fucking sucks, man. Let's be honest.
and this shit's always getting removed from the British Netflix because of
Why
the.
the fuck don't they just fucking? Is this right? It's
I don't
because
know
of,
why
like,
we should
TV
just
rights and
become
shit.
a state of America so we can get all the same fucking shit
Fuck
as them.
that. Are you kidding me?
Free
Fuck, man.
citizenship, and we can go anywhere. California, New Orleans. I don't know why I said a state and then a city. Like California, Texas, Miami.
Bakersfield and shit.
Actually, I remember seeing a show. It was based in Miami. They had Dexter's house in the show. It was the same
Really?
place. Yeah, it was the same
You
place.
sure?
Yeah. I
Damn.
remember it. It's great. I screeched like a little girl when I saw it. I was just like, oh my god!
It was one of them Easter egg moments.
Yeah, just one of them great Easter egg moments in life.
Shit.
Crying your eyes out and shit. Yeah, man. I wouldn't be able to choose what shows
Yeah.
to watch.
No,
do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
If I had to, right now, I'd say Grimm.
Sure.
Wait, if it comes to shows, does spin-offs count? Because if it's spin-offs, then I'll watch the Vampire Diaries,
Anything you want.
because it has 2 spin-offs to it.
Anything you want.
But like, if it was just one show, I'd say Grimm.
Yeah.
Grimm always puts a smile on my face because of how cool the concept was, how they
Sure.
came up with it, and I love it. I mean, it was based on obviously the Brothers Grimm who made the original fairy tales, like I think like Little Red Riding Hood and all that shit. But they were realistic tales of kids getting eaten and shit.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure Sleeping Beauty was raped by her dad. I'm pretty sure. I
Really?
can't remember. Yeah, had like kids with her or some shit while she was asleep.
What?
Fucked up. Welcome
What,
to
in
Britain.
Grimm?
No, not Grimm. No.
Oh,
No. It's not like that. It's the creatures from the stories mostly. It's hard to explain. If you watched it, you'll understand.
yeah, I might actually start watching that. You know.
Give it a go, man. Give it a go. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm not gonna be like,
Yeah,
oh
so you
yeah,
know
you're
what?
wrong.
I've been saying for years that I was gonna start that. Well, I've been thinking it for years, but I just never got around to it.
Yeah, I understand. It's one of them shows that I was
You have to
reluctant
get
to watch.
into it, don't you?
The thing is, like, do you know what's really interesting? Is you know the originals, which is a spin-off to the Vampire Diaries. I was gonna watch that before the Vampire Diaries. I saw it and then it was like, oh, the original Vampire Family. I was like, oh, that might be cool to see like the lore and the history behind that. I put it on my list, and then I was watching. I was like, hold on a second, the originals. And then I went to the originals, and I was like, hold on, these are the same people. And I was like, oh shit, it's a spin-off.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they've made their own show based on it. That's so cool, and I love that.
Yeah, it's always good. Spin-offs are good.
Do you know I found the thing is right. I go and ask Reddit sometimes, and I found this great question, and it said, what spin-off to a TV show is better than the original show? And the first thing I saw was Angel to Buffy, and I was like, yep.
Really?
Yep, 100% better than Buffy. Shame it only lasted 5 seasons. It was better than Buffy. The originals, I'd say, has more fans than the Vampire Diaries did. Eventually.
Oh, okay.
Because it went into another generation of people, didn't it? So,
yeah.
yeah.
So.
But what about you? Have you ever seen a show with a spin-off?
Oh, yeah, on the buses, but that example isn't. This is an example of a bad one. Oh, it's not bad. Example of one that just didn't come close to the original show. On the buses, there was a spin-off called "Don't Drink the Water," and it had Blakey in it. You know, the inspector. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen On the Buses?
No, I've heard about it. I have heard about it.
Oh, fuck me, dude. Yeah, I mean, probably anyone watching this wouldn't have heard of that, but On the Buses is a fucking brilliant show from like, it's old, it's like 77, like early 70s, but Jesus Christ, like British comedy down to a T, old school as fuck. I can't really say anything bad about it, to be honest. It's literally a perfect show to me. The only thing I will say is it was a shame that the main character Stan left in the last series, because that kind of killed it a little. But yeah, they did a spin-off with the Inspector Blake, who's like, I can't even describe him. Unique, very unique. But yeah, it was a good show. I have it on DVD. It's kind of rare and stuff, but it just didn't come close to the original. Only lasted two series as well. On the Buses went for 7, so
yeah.
But honestly, I can't think of any examples of spin-offs that I can't even remember, let alone ones that I like. I can't even think of any right now. Not that I know of anyway. Do you have any? Any more? What did you see on that Reddit post? Like, what did people say?
Do you know what?
Because it's kind of interesting. I just can't think of any spin-offs right now, but
yeah, I saw a bunch. A lot of them. I actually saw a lot of Angels, like a lot of Angel replies. Which was actually kind of amazing because it just shows how it really was a better show. It lasted for 5 seasons. Oh, do you know what's really weird? Wait, how many seasons did Buffy last for? Hold on a second.
I have no idea.
How many seasons did Buffy?
I'm gonna go ahead and say 12. Just
no, it was 7. I thought it was 8. So it had 5 and then 7. So the spin-off was like the Vampire Diaries was the originals. It happened at the same time. The shows were intertwined. They weren't just afterwards. Because the original started of season 4. They actually started on 420 episode. Series 420.
I thought you meant they literally
Do you know what was
started
amazing?
on the holiday.
Do you know what was amazing? It's the show start. There was a backdoor pilot in the Vampire Diaries to show off the originals. The show started
Yeah.
on the 4th season on the 20th episode, and then the final season premiered on April the 20th. So 420 all around, 420 plays it, all of that shit. But
Oh right.
yeah, that was kind of cool.
Oh right. Okay. They incorporate that.
Yeah, it was very cool, very very cool.
Yeah.
What about movies? Let's talk about a movie.
Movies.
Never Back Down, easily one of the best nostalgic
Yeah.
films.
Have we spoken about that before here?
Not here, no,
We haven't.
no.
Oh damn. I
Um,
mean, Never Back Down. We've said so much stuff about it in the past. Just great story, great characters.
it's actually very nostalgic for me as well, though, because I watched it in primary school.
Oh
I'm
right.
pretty
Okay.
sure, like year 6.
Yeah,
Primary
it's
school.
nostalgic for me in the sense that I watched it in year 9 and stuff, and that was a interesting period. So I just always remember like that time when I watched that film.
Yeah. I'm trying to see
Back
if I
to
can
the
find
Future.
them.
I mean, but I'm sitting here. I'm thinking of films that are like not only nostalgic, like some of my favorite films, like Stand by Me. That's so nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just wow. So I'm trying to think of stuff that I actually watched as a kid, like not necessarily great films, but just stuff that I always like to go back to.
Well, so there was 2 posts that I saw, which was which character do you
American
think should have got a
Pie.
spin-off? Oh yeah, American Pie, bro.
The,
Oh
the original American Pie is just some of my favorite films in the world, and I know they're not fantastic movies, but
they're
to me,
hilarious.
they're fantastic because, yeah, I think they're great films personally. And second of all, I watched them. I actually watched them at my friend's house when I was young, like 9, and I just fucking I'd never seen like stuff like a film like I don't think I'd seen a film like that before, and I just remember I just loved it. I loved the friendship of the 4 characters and whatnot. Like the whole thing was just so good to me. I loved it.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack was to a T. The soundtrack was perfect in the first 2 American Pie films
I've noticed with American
and the
films
third one.
they do have good soundtracks when it comes to comedy films
Um,
and like sort of
yeah,
like teen films and stuff. They're pretty good.
yeah. I don't know
Oh, here
about
we go. I
now
think I
because
might have. I found one that's related to this. We're gonna read this Reddit post for you guys. This is a little something different, but it was what TV show was completely surpassed by its spin-off, right?
yeah,
I saw a lot about Xena Warrior Princess. NCIS is actually a spin-off to JAG or JAG.
yeah.
Simpsons, if it can't wait, what? Okay. None that I have noticed. Seeing if one's over here. Apparently there's a Bones spin-off.
Really, muscles.
Strange. Yeah. Oh yeah, the
Oh,
Arrow,
that's
the
so
Flash.
shit.
I know of them. I've never watched the Flash. I haven't finished Arrow,
Yeah.
which is a decent show.
Have you seen Gotham?
No, not yet. I was thinking about
I've heard
watching
good
it.
things about that. The
Yeah,
Woo actually recommended that to me.
Oh, here we go. The originals. Vampire Diaries was way bigger than originals. Vampire Diaries had high and low lows, high highs and low lows. Originals was consistently good until the final season. IMO. I agree. The final season was good. I love the New Hope. She's in Legacies. She's getting so much hate for the
Who?
fact that the girl that plays Hope in this TV show, right? Because she got her own show, and people didn't really like her character. It's her character. The writers wrote it, and she has to say what they fucking write down. She's getting hate.
Sure.
She's getting body shamed.
What? In what way?
People are commenting on her weight and shit constantly.
What,
She
is
has
they
to delete
saying
her
she's fat?
Twitter and certain photos on her Instagram. She has to disable the
Are
comments.
they saying she's fat?
I said probably, yeah.
Uh,
It's disgusting.
who is this person?
Daniel
Dan,
Rose Russell.
I don't know.
Angels
What is this
season
show?
5 surpassed Buffy. What's that?
Ah, forget it.
Angels is miles better than Buffy. Good. Buffy was surpassed by Angel. Cheers by Frasier. Originals is much better than the Vampire Diaries.
Cheers is a spin-off to Frasier.
Is it?
Is it?
It's what I don't know. That's what it says was. Cheers by Frasier. And the originals, yep. See, a bunch of these about the originals, like.
Yeah.
Angel was better than Buffy, yep. Trying to find some more. Yeah, that's exactly my point. Is like, there are shows out there that literally, yeah. Another one said Frasier.
Frasier.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think Frasier easily eclipsed Cheers.
Really? Really? First of all, I didn't know that was a fucking spin-off. Second of all, I don't know, man. Cheers. Oh, Frasier better than Cheers.
If you could have one character, well, if you could have a few characters from a TV show and have their own spin-offs, who would they be?
Oh, alright, this is a good one. It's $1 million question. Dude, you'd have to start.
Oh, fuck! There's actually so many spin-offs nowadays. I'd like to see a spin-off of the life of Nick Burkhart's son, who is Nick Burkhart is the guy in Grimm. I'd like to see his son, because you see him growing up in the last episode at the end. I'd like to see his life as a Grimm. I'd like to see the backstory. I'd like to see the human side. I don't know. I'd like to see like the original vampires as humans, and then turn into vampires, and their whole entire 1,000-year journey up until the point where you meet them. I mean, you get a lot of flashbacks and shit. Dexter in Canada, or wherever he escaped to.
Yeah, that's one for sure.
Or his son grown up.
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be nice. Or Dexter's childhood.
Yes, yeah.
Or his first sort of victims, you know what I mean, before we knew who he was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe Sergeant James Dokes. Would be kind of cool.
Nah, fuck that.
I like the guy because I understood.
I didn't.
Do you know what it was? It's because he saw Dexter and he knew there was something up with him.
No, I know.
And obviously the guy's he was kind of broken. But at the end of the day, he was a good person. Yeah, he was, because he went to war, didn't he? And
did he? I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was a soldier and shit.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that. Shit, yeah.
Or I'd like to see like olden day, Grimm.
Well,
like Grimm, like,
yeah.
where they go and discover these creatures, because they have these books and stuff. They document like what they find, and
yeah.
And they like draw, like they sketch the Vesson.
Yeah.
It's very hard to think about it.
It is, man. Because I can't even think of a TV show that I want to see a spin-off of a character from.
Angel, like, before he got his soul, would be really cool. Where he was evil, one of the most evil vampires in the world.
I guess
Spike from Buffy and Angel.
a spin-off of Styles from Teen
Oh
Wolf would
yes,
be good.
that would be amazing.
That would be good.
That would be great.
Yeah.
But then he might as well. It might as well just be Teen Wolf, to be honest.
Well, that's it. I keep thinking in my head examples when I think it might as well just be the original show.
Yeah.
I can't think of a spin-off that would just have one character.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Keep thinking of like the characters.
It's not worth it, is it? You might as well just bring back the show.
Unless you focus on that one character more than the others, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
but thing like Styles is he's going to be around Scott. He's going to be around Malia. He's going to be around, Lydia. You might as well just be Teen Wolf. But the thing is, like with like Angel, it could literally be. He's not going to be around Buffy. He's not going to be around any of the people that you know. He's going to be in the past where he's killing and maiming and shit. And like the same with Nick Burkhart's son. It would be very cool.
I'll tell you what I'd like to see: a spin-off of Nightcrawler from X-Men, even if it's animated, like because I've always loved that character.
Nightcrawler, was that the guy that could teleport?
Yeah, and he's blue and shit.
What, from X-Men 2?
Yeah, he was in that film. Yeah, he's been in X-Men.
I had a crush on Jean or Phoenix.
Sure.
And I think that's where I realized I fell in love with redheads.
Yeah.
I love redheads.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just in case any girls out there listening.
Any redhead girls want to hit me up on Twitter?
Hit you up on Twitter, yeah.
Send me hair pics so I can have a tug.
Tug. Yeah.
I'll tell you one good film that I loved when I was watching when I was a little bit younger, not majorly young, was The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale.
Okay.
He played Mickey Ward, I believe, he was a boxer. It's a real story. He played a boxer, and his brother Christian Bale was a ex-boxer. He became a crackhead, then he got clean, and he trained his brother, and his brother became like a world champion or something. It's a very inspirational story. I'd say there's a lot more movies that are nostalgic than TV shows.
Yeah, there's a TV show called Big Wolf on Campus for me, which is so nostalgic, dude. It's a massive part of my young childhood because I have so many memories of watching that in like at the age of like probably 6. Like it was a kids TV show, and it was like a child's show. It was just so old, like it was so old school. Like it was so well done too. The characters were great. Fun storylines, always new stuff happening every episode. It was just really fun. But it was a Canadian show, so there's literally like no DVDs out. I had to burn like episodes from YouTube onto discs and whatnot. I don't even know where they are. So this was years ago though.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, I mean you're not gonna get it anywhere, you know. Literally no DVDs available, so
maybe on eBay or something.
No, there's a pilot episode and shit which I do own. I have that somewhere. I don't know where the hell it is now, which is a shame. I'm sure it'll be about.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing about nostalgia, is that a lot of people say nostalgia isn't necessarily always a good thing. You should never give in to nostalgia. It's more like,
why?
Just embrace the nostalgia.
Yeah, why? Why shouldn't you?
Maybe they're just talking about fucking relationships. I don't bloody know.
Maybe they're just fucking idiots and they try and sound deep, but they're not.
Because like, when I think of nostalgic, to be fair, when I watch
nostalgia is great. It's a great feeling, dude.
I was kind of hurt because I was like, I don't know what to do with my life now.
I know what you're saying, but
I mean, yeah, that was kind of
I know what you mean, but like nostalgia is not a bad thing for me.
No, I love nostalgic stuff.
Yeah, it's great to look back on stuff.
I mean, it is quite sad sometimes when you think about it and you think, oh, I could have done a lot better, or I could have done something different.
Sometimes, yeah. No, but like, you learn from that. You can either cry about it and fucking, or you can learn from it. You know, choose to learn from it in some way.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I get you. I get you. I just I I don't know. Like nostalgic movies are the greatest because you can always rewatch a lot of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really weird?
So,
This is really weird, but nostalgic movies, I'd say Kidulthood.
oh fucking hell, dude.
Because like it
I
is quite
I can't.
nostalgic. Because back when you watched it, it
It,
was such a cool
I,
movie.
I, I get what you're saying, but for me, it wouldn't be nostalgic. Wouldn't be the word. It would be more. Um, how do you how you say what's the word I'm looking for? It'd be more of a not a repressed memory because I remember it, but more of one that I'd want to forget. You know,
No,
like
see, I thought it was a great movie.
it's
Um,
a it's well made, but just the whole premise of it is fucking like now I just look at it and I think Jesus, like fucking oh, just what how I can't even put it. I don't even know what to say. Like it's just embarrassing. Like just because it just reminds me of like the world, like the UK now, and it's just embarrassing to watch. But I know what you're saying though. I do know what you're saying because you watched that, you know, when you were young. I did as well,
yeah.
and I liked it. It's a well-made film. I would watch it again, but I wouldn't. It's not one of them I like consider like nostalgic.
Eh, I mean, I find it nostalgic because it's just you know,
No, I
it's just
understand
decent.
where you're coming from.
Because like at the end of the day, you just sort of you go back to those days where oh it was so cool. You're in school. You remember oh you talk about kidulthood. You know you'd make them jokes. You know oh
When
that
everyone used to,
whole didn't I say no onions and all that sort
yeah.
of shit. You know that's nice I guess.
Do you remember Adam Deacon brought out another hit film,
Oh
and
another. I'm telling you now, Anotherhood
that
is
was fucking
still a great movie. I make references to it with my mate Oscar all the time because we
oh
spoke about it
bro,
one day. We both watched it the next day, and
Jesus.
we love it. It's such a great movie. Like honestly, it's a great movie. I don't know how people hate it to be honest.
Oh, shut up.
What you don't like it?
No, I mean it's yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say I hate it, but I wouldn't say I like it.
I love it. It's fucking hilarious. It's
Yeah,
do you know what it
it's kind
is?
of funny.
It's because as you grow up, you realize how stupid it is, and the characters that make it, the things that make it funny are the one-liners and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, no, I understand.
Not
No, there's
necessarily the
certain parts.
situation, but it's just the one-liners that they come out
No, I
with.
get you. Yeah.
And hats off to Adam Deacon for making that like a decent comedy movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
He fucking got locked up for like going out with him, waving a machete about and shit.
I honestly don't know, mate.
No, he did. He legit. He did. He got locked up and put in a mental institute, and whatnot.
Story for another time, I
So
guess.
as a great downfall, great or not, yeah,
Yeah.
downfall. I guess. Yeah.
Funny. Oh, I just read something. An Uncle Jesse and Aunt Becky Fuller House spin-off.
Not
Lori
funny.
Loughlin is on board. I don't see that. Yeah, it's decent. Um, yeah, I'm still scrolling through Reddit now. I'm just looking at these spin-off things about well, what kind of character would you like to see?
The Royal Family is a UK show. Um, a lot of these shows are UK based because, to be honest, I'm always going to be like old school British humor is always going to be my favorite because obviously I am British and it just brings back more nostalgia because I've lived in this country my whole life, so I understand it to a
Oh
T.
yes.
Yeah. What was it? Where was I?
Sorry, I
Yeah, the
just
Royal Family.
came across the
Great show.
best post.
Lasted three seasons, 3 series. There's a couple of specials and whatnot. Oh, just
Speaking
a
of three
great
seasons and a
show.
special, Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah, I've seen it so many times though now,
Yeah,
you
no, no,
know.
no, no, no. I know. I've seen it so many times. It's still a great show, but obviously you burn it out. But it's still a great
Yeah,
show.
I burn that out like not nothing else in the world.
Extremely,
Like,
extremely. Let's face it though. When it's Christmas time, you watch the Gavin and Spacey, Gavin and Stacey,
Kevin Spacey.
Gavin and Stacey Christmas special. You have to admit, you watch it. It's
It's on.
to see Smithy singing in the car is probably the best moment. And I've also just read a post. Who wouldn't watch a Doug Judy spin-off series? Doug Judy is a character that comes in once, one episode per season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He and it, it's an amazing,
Really?
amazing moment. Yeah, but the thing is, he's such a big part of the show. That's what that's what makes me laugh. Is
Who
and
is he?
it's it's just it's hard to explain. If you watch it, you'll understand. But
Yeah,
I would 100% love to watch a show based on him. He's fucking hilarious. He's great. So,
yeah,
but yeah, man, it's just yeah. I think that's what spin-offs keep the nostalgia alive. That's what I love about Legacies. It's keeping the nostalgia alive, and they're going different places with it, which is going to make it successful.
yeah,
So it's not just basically a like a like a like a revamp of like the Vampire Diaries and stuff. See what I did
yeah,
there? Revamp.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that'd be. I just think. Oh, I've been so nostalgic recently.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
it would. I really have. Have you?
Um, yeah. I mean, to a certain extent, I guess you could call Cold Feet nostalgic to an extent because it's an old show. Well, I guess it's considered old. Yeah, it's an old show, but it's been it came back this year, well, a couple of years ago. But other than that, I haven't actually watched anything that I watched like as a kid, like nostalgic wise to me. But yeah, I've been looking at some new shows to like what to get into and whatnot. So I'll probably just do that to be honest. And I also got I'll be watching that Into the Spider Verse film. So I know it's been out
Oh
for a
yeah,
while,
I
but
need to watch that.
yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Probably tomorrow. So I mean, that's one thing. I know it's been out for a little while now, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to see how that went because it looked like a decent little film.
yeah. So what's one show that you would hate for them to reboot?
Um, only actually I don't know.
Give me like three top shows that you'd never want to see a
Shit,
reboot.
man, that's tough. Um, because it's hard to say. Um, I don't know why I wouldn't want to be rebooted.
Because you think about it, you think, oh, it could be great, but then you also think it could ruin it for you.
I
Because
know what you mean.
I'm thinking of Grimm, and I'm thinking it could be much better quality,
Yeah,
a lot better production value, but it's gonna take out um, the whole sort of point of the guy. You know, it's gonna take the point of Nick Burkhart. You know, he's not gonna be the same type of character and stuff. Like
yeah,
David Giantoli, I think his name is the guy who
okay.
plays Grim. He plays Nick. I just don't see anyone else playing Nick. I just don't see anyone else playing Monroe. Even Sergeant Wu, bro. Like anyone. I don't see anyone getting replaced.
Sergeant Wu.
Yeah.
There's
Sergeant
Kane on the show.
Wu. Sergeant
Yeah.
Wu. Yeah, man.
Um,
It's amazing. Like Nick, Juliet, Sean Renard, Monroe, Sergeant Wu, Rosalie, Hank, Adeline. I just don't see any of them getting replaced, and that's one show I guess I wouldn't want to be rebooted because I'd rather it be brought back than
yeah.
rebooted. Teen Wolf,
Oh, rebooted.
yeah,
Okay.
Teen
I
Wolf,
wouldn't want to see. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't want to see Only Fools and Horses rebooted.
yeah, that wouldn't be the same ever.
No, that would be a disgusting crime. Uh,
There
wouldn't
would be
want to see.
riots in England if that happened. There actually would be riots. That's the
Probably.
funny thing.
I wouldn't want to see Freaks and Geeks be rebooted, like a new people and shit, that would ruin that would literally ruin it. It wouldn't ruin the show. It'd just be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, sure, there's definitely other shows.
Well, let's just say because Freaks and Geeks only had one season. Let's not count that.
Yeah. All right. It's difficult.
It is difficult because I would say things like Buffy, but that's already been rebooted, which I'm
Has
okay
it?
with because apparently they're not. I can't remember what they said. They're not changing. Um, they've not changed. They've done something that they said they're not doing. They're not doing a certain thing to like completely change it all. They're just. I don't even think it's literally about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think it's literally just about a different vampire. Well, they said they're not recasting any of the original roles.
Right.
So that means Xander, Willow, Angel, and stuff. They won't be recasted,
Oh,
which
okay.
I'm happy about because I couldn't bear someone else being Angel. I don't think
Yeah.
I would probably just get really mad and just cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say rebooted. I don't know. That's actually hard.
Yeah.
Um, rebooted. Rebooted.
Uh,
Dexter. I wouldn't want to see rebooted.
yeah.
I'd
No.
rather that night rather than rebooted.
Yeah.
Let's just say rebooted means remake the whole thing with a different cast. That's what we've been told.
Yeah.
That Dexter. Teen Wolf.
Mm.
Um,
I mean, my mind has gone blank right now.
and Grimm, I guess, would be my ones.
Yeah, mine would be Dexter, Only Fools and Horses, and I don't know about the last one.
Teen Wolf. Would you like to see that reboot?
Oh, not really, no.
Could you imagine someone else as Derek Hale? Could you imagine someone
No.
else as Scott McCall? Could you imagine
No.
someone else as Styles Stilinski? No. Dylan O'Brien does a great job as Styles.
Yeah.
Do you know what's amazing? That was his first ever acting job as well.
Really?
Yeah, he did YouTube videos before that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it was great.
I guess I'll say On the Buses because I can't think of another one right now.
Yeah. Yeah, the older ones, I guess. Problem is they're just running out of ideas. So they reboot everything.
Honestly, the show was great till season 7.
What show would you like to see rebooted?
Um. Ooh. Difficult one, man.
Oh yeah, another one for me is True Blood. I wouldn't want to see that rebooted at all.
Yeah.
Um,
Shit, because if it's a reboot, you might as well get rid of everyone. So
maybe Fresh Meat.
yeah.
That might not be as half bad as if they did reboot that.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's actually quite hard to think about what you'd want to be rebooted, isn't it?
Yeah. If you don't like a show, there's no point rebooting it. You know, probably still won't like it.
It's not even necessarily if you don't like it. Maybe it's like you'd like to see it sort of remade and into a better version of it.
I guess. I mean, would say Dexter again, but I'd like to see Dexter in the show still, at least.
Yeah. I'd just have to say like fresh meat or something. I guess would be the only
Yeah,
one.
I mean, I would say the In-Betweeners. I would like to see that rebooted, but it's so popular now, so, you know.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, right? Speaking of nostalgia, do you remember the days of sitting up at night on BBC Three watching the series that they brought out? You know, like Some Girls. Do you remember Some Girls?
Oh my god, yeah.
Do you remember all the BBC Three series like Pram Face?
Mate.
Oh, what
Yeah,
was
I
the other
do.
one? There's a few of them that I used to.
Him and Her.
Him and Her. Well, no,
That
I
was
didn't
a good
watch Him
show.
and Her.
Oh, you should.
Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Do you remember Cuckoo?
Yeah.
That had do you
Andy
know that
Samberg.
had Andy Samberg in before I even knew who he was, and then I recognised him when I went to back and watched Cuckoo. Had Taylor
Yeah.
Lautner in. I think
Yeah, good.
he was great in it. Bad
Yeah.
Education.
Bad Education was good.
Uncle.
Uncle, what a
Some
show, yeah.
Girls.
Some Girls
Being
was worth
Human.
it. Yeah.
Pram Face. I loved Pram
Yeah.
Face. Mongrels. Fucking love that. Oh, what else was there?
Do you know what?
Russell Howard
Outnumbered was
News
good.
was nice. If you remember Family Guy, I used to just stay up and watch Family Guy.
Yeah. Outnumbered was good.
I never actually watched that.
Oh, that's a good show.
Oh mate, it's bringing back some memories. This is.
Yeah, man.
What's this guy up to now? The guy that played Jamie in Pram Face. I wonder what he's up to. I used to love Pram Face.
Probably
The
not
thing is,
what.
do you remember Kai?
Which one was that?
I don't want to say his last name. Starts with
Oh,
an A.
the fucking kid in the year below or whatever.
Yeah, I actually used to talk to him about these shows.
What, now?
Not now, but like back in school when they were on.
Yeah.
They were they were great times, man. Staying up at like 10 o'clock every week to see like a new episode of Pram Face or whatever.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then watching Family Guy afterwards, and then going to
I
bed.
think what would be a good show to reboot. Monday Night Raw.
I think they need to just sell the company to someone else first.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But it's difficult to choose, to be fair.
I'd like to see them
Choose
sort of
one.
maybe remade or like maybe like do a special, like a reunion type special.
What, the In-Betweeners?
Like stuff like that, like stuff like the In-Betweeners, like In-Betweeners. There's a show called Beaver
Yeah,
Falls.
I'd like to see another episode of Outnumbered, reunion one.
There's a show called Beaver Falls that went on for 2 seasons on E4.
Heard of it, yeah.
It was actually really good. I came across it and then I found they weren't doing it anymore. And that was quite sad because it was actually a
What is
decent
it
show.
about?
It's hard to explain, but they basically go to this camp in America.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but if you watch it,
Yeah.
it's decent. Mate, honestly, I just miss a day of Minecraft streams, BBC Three shows,
It's up Minecraft.
and Dexter. Those were the
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Those were indeed the days.
Yeah, scratch the Minecraft and I'm with you.
Well, nah, see, Minecraft was the thing that I watched on Twitch.
Oh,
at the
right.
time. And that's what Twitch really helped with my depression and my anxiety.
Yeah.
And streaming helped with my confidence in talking. If you looked at a video, if you looked at a YouTube video back then of me, I'd basically not say anything the whole video.
Yeah.
To compared to now, I'm just chatting shit.
Yeah.
I
All the time.
had so much confidence with putting my voice out there.
Yeah.
because of streaming. So
Okay.
those are the days, man. Those were the fuck. Back in the day when my username was Cream Pie 98. Oh, best
Cream
days.
pie.
Cream Pie 98. And I
Nice.
changed it to Tipper of Fish.
Good.
So yeah, it was. Good
And then
day.
you changed it to Mr. Alpha Werewolf, and then you changed it back to Parafish.
No, I changed it to Fossilized Raptor.
And then you changed it to fucking something else.
No, I finished with Mr. Alpha Werewolf.
Yeah.
Then I went back to Tipper of Fish.
Lieutenant Fuck Nugget, weren't you, for a while?
No, it wasn't my Twitch name. That was just.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, that was just like persona that I would use for like things like, you know, just making other.
Business matters and whatnot.
Yeah, essentially like just, so it wasn't really linked to my other accounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain. Like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Like on games or something, like an online game or something like that, I'll use that persona. So I would never really use Tipper of Fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something like that. No, I've never used Lieutenant Fuck Nugget on Twitch. I think I might have used it for my my bot. I have a bot in my chat. I might have used that account. I'm pretty sure I used Lieutenant Fuck Nugget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cringy name, so I went back to Super Fish because that was just the OG name. I remember going back to it and thinking, "Fuck me." It feels kind of cool to be back.
Yeah, 100%.
Back when I had all the underscores in my name. Some good days, some bad days.
Hey man, some are good, some are bad.
Yeah, man. I'm just so glad nostalgia is sort of coming back to me nowadays. Because you just see certain things and you think, oh my god, I can't believe that's on here. And oh wow, I remember that show. I remember that movie. I never back down, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Greatest movie soundtrack in the world.
Yeah, 100%. So many great songs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was good old days, I guess.
Listen, there's a ton of nostalgic shit. I guarantee I've missed out a ton of stuff too.
Oh yeah, I missed out a lot of stuff, I think.
Yeah. But the point is, nostalgic TV shows and films, you can go back to them. They put a smile on your face. They bring you comfort. You know the score.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay down a recommendation for the listeners. Watch Never Back Down.
Yeah.
Watch Grimm. If you haven't seen The Vampire Diaries, watch it. Watch the originals, then watch Legacies.
Alright.
Watch the shows. Watch Dexter. If you've never watched Dexter, watch Dexter. Bear through the ending, but just watch it. You'll appreciate the series more when you realise how shit the ending is. Watch The Fighter. That is a great movie. Just watch shows that came out in like 2010 and all that sort of stuff, and just come back.
Even like 90s and 80s shows are fucking great.
Yeah, because nostalgia doesn't necessarily have to be from your like infanthood. It can be like, you know, from
time periods and shit.
Yeah, literally like from 2010. Do you know what I mean? That's nostalgic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I think this was a good podcast.
Yeah, I think it went pretty well. We got a lot of shows that we wanted to speak about in there.
And it's nice to talk about them again.
Yeah.
And express just how great it feels to watch them and stuff. That's
Yeah.
best part, I say.
Yeah, 100%. It's good to reminisce about, memories and whatnot.
Well, like the old days, it's currently 2 a.m. On the old days, I'd be up watching American Dad and enjoying myself. But nowadays, I'm dead by 2 a.m. I'm dead by 10 p.m. And yeah. So I think we should. Yeah, I think we should end it.
Yeah, man. I think we've covered pretty much of.
Yeah, man. I think. Oh no, actually, there is one thing I want to cover. Recently it was Steve Irwin's birthday.
Oh yeah.
Or the anniversary of his birthday. So rest in peace, Steve. I'm not just saying that because everyone was like, "Oh, I love Steve Irwin." He genuinely was my only childhood hero at the time.
Yeah.
My mum brought me the Crocodile Hunter, and she's like, "Oh, do you want to watch Crocodile Hunter?" And I'm like, "Yeah, put the Crocodile Hunter on."
Yeah.
And I'd watch it I'd watch it in bed, and just the theme tune. If you've never watched the theme, listen to the theme tune. You should listen to it. It's great. And Peter, the fucking animal protection organization, called him an animal abuser, which really pissed me off.
They've been doing some crazy shit all over recently.
And they've been known to kill animals for being apparently too aggressive or something like that. Whereas Steve Irwin would die for an animal that would kill him anyway. So I think Peter needs to just fuck off, disband their organisation, and leave Steve alone. Steve is a fucking legend, and I love the guy. Yeah. I absolutely loved him as a child, and I still love him to this day. When I watched a documentary about him not too long ago, and I cried, man. I'm 20 years old and I cried. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And his son is so much like him, and it's amazing to see. And yeah, man,
really?
That's probably one of the biggest nostalgic things I've had to recently. I love Steve Irwin, man.
Yeah, he's good. Awesome.
Yeah, man, he was great. He was actually my childhood hero. He's the only one celebrity I've ever actually been really saddened by his death. My mum actually came into me and said, "Oh no, something happened." I was like, what? And she was like, "Oh, Steve Irwin died." And I think I remember actually crying a little bit.
Is it pronounced Irwin?
Yeah, Irwin. Or Irwin. Is it Irwin or Irwin?
I mean, anyway, I guess.
I mean, I've heard so many people say Irwin. I grew up saying Steve Irwin, but then I've heard so many people say Irwin.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Honestly,
Probably just
I don't know anymore. I probably butchered his name. People will probably comment like, "Fucking Irwin, you dumb fuck, not Irwin."
Yeah, people who never watched him and shit.
Yeah. People who never watched him are like, "Oh, rest in peace," and then like you're sitting there like, he genuinely like. I'm not one of them people that just jump on the bandwagon. He genuinely was one of my childhood, just my childhood hero, and like, I was genuinely saddened by his death, and I'm so pissed off that Peter said this shit about him. And
have done some fucking crazy shit recently.
Well, they need to just shut. They just need to shut up. They just need to shut their fucking mouths.
Yeah.
Before I curb stomp a lot of them. Oh, it really made me angry to read what they were saying. Honestly, it really did. Imagine what his family fucking said. Like, I'm gonna read you something out. Right, this was heartbreaking. I saw this because obviously it was his birthday. There were memes made in respect, not to take the piss, made in respect to Steve Irwin.
AKA Irwin.
And there was AKA Irwin. Yeah. There was one towards his wife. It was a meme, but I'm gonna read you what the meme was attached to, which was Terry Irwin, his wife, hasn't been on a date since losing Steve. She said, "I already had my happily ever after."
Wow.
And then underneath is a meme of a guy saluting and then bursting out into tears. Which I love that meme, and I'm so glad it was put on there because it was such a great moment to put on there. But
crazy,
yeah, man. Today's been a lot more serious, a lot more deep down, compared to our usual stuff. But I'm glad that we reminisced again, because we reminisce a lot, and I'm glad that we could reminisce like this much, and and then do it for other people. Guys, honestly, if you guys want to talk about movies with us, I'm more than happy to have a whole entire thread in the comment section discussing movies, or on Twitter. Send me a DM. If you're genuine, if it's a genuine discussion, I'll accept the DM on Twitter and stuff at Tipper of Fish. Harry's is Mr. H McGovern.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. And guys,
yeah, man, good to get back on the show. Good to get talking again.
Yeah, guys, go follow me on Twitch. Go if you want, you can subscribe to me on Twitch. I'm not gonna tell you to, because that costs money. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to my actual my channel and Harry's channel, obviously, but my actual channel, not just this channel. Because I'll be putting I'm gonna be putting more content up there more often. I'm gonna try to. But guys, follow me on Twitch. I'll be streaming there most days, and follow Harry's channel is very wrestling dedicated, and I know there are some wrestling fans that watch this podcast. So do check him out and enjoy yourselves. But I think that's a good end there, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Good to get back. Looking forward to the next one.
So am I, bro. So am I. We'll plan it. But guys, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening to us. If you've made it to the end of the video, there's a code word, right? Like, if you're gonna comment something and you made it, the code word is Erwin. Just put Erwin. Just put code Erwin in the comments. If you made it this far, you might not even comment, even if you did. You get a very special treat. But yeah, just to show that if people are actually listening this long. I enjoyed myself. I'm extremely tired now though. The coffee didn't do fuck all, even though I made a coffee beforehand.
I had a Red Bull.
I would have had. I was tempted to go to the shop today. Probably should have gone to buy a Monster or something.
Yeah, I went yesterday. Got a
yeah, I think we're ready to end. But honestly, guys,
100%.
Harry, thank you for filming this episode with me once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for being a part of the show with me. Thank you for agreeing to this when I messaged you that one day. It took us 2 months to get this off the ground, or maybe 3 months. Yeah, we made the plans.
Yeah, we did.
And then one day I just made the Twitter, made the YouTube, and I was like, Harry, this is it. We're making it. And then you were like, yeah, right, well, that's it. Then we'll film the next episode. We'll film the first episode in the next few days, and we did.
I'm glad to say we're still going strong.
Yeah. We still talk. We still, like, even if we're like a few weeks off, we'll always be like,
yeah.
Right,
I've been off the grid recently. That's literally why we're probably about a week. I'd say but maybe a week late, because we probably would have done one last week.
Yeah, the thing is, guys, is the podcast. If you actually watch even professional podcasts, they'll say it burns money and time. Obviously, we're not burning money because we're not in a studio or anything like that. Maybe one day. But a lot of time, a lot of people don't earn the money off their podcasts enough to fix their profit. Hence why they're always either celebrities or YouTubers.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for us to dedicate a whole time to this when we have obviously other priorities in life. We're very busy, and the times that we do get to do this, we could be busy. Or it's late at night, but the thing is, if it's late at night, there's a potential that we're disturbing, the people in our houses and stuff. And stuff like that. So obviously tonight was a good night, but
pretty smooth.
Yeah, very smooth. Guys, I'm thinking about creating a gaming channel, because I don't want my main channel to be about gaming, and stuff like that. So my gaming videos are sort of, I can sort of pump out, and then my main channel videos will be nicely nice quality sort of content. I guess quality, if you call it that, but you know,
Yeah.
stuff that I love making. I love like the quality over quantity, my friends. But that is it for the Said Enough podcast, episode 4, 5?
Yeah, 4.
4. Episode 4.
Yeah.
We'll get into the swing of it, guys. I promise we will.
Yes, 100%.
Next episode, we don't have anything specific planned.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that.
Yeah. All right. So what we've been trying to do is we've been trying to create the ultimate werewolf by using multiple TV shows and movies. But we'll do that in the next episode. We'll do that as a little segment.
Sure.
And we can create the ultimate werewolf to defeat anything.
Alright, cool.
I think that'd be kind of cool thing to do. It put our get our creative juices flowing.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So yeah. But guys, thanks for stopping by. We're sorry for the delay. Don't forget to follow the Said Enough on Twitter, which is the S_E podcast, I believe.
Yeah, we got it in the description, right?
You can DM us on there if you want. You don't have to DM us.
Oh yeah. Before we go,
what's that?
Do want to say shout out to my guy who I met on Chat Roulette the other night.
Harry was looking for some
had an interesting. Yeah, I was looking for dicks.
Yeah.
Had an interesting chat with him, and he said that he subbed. He left a comment. So yeah, if you've seen this, if he does end up watching this, probably won't. But yeah, sweet, bro.
Well, shout out to you, bro. Thanks for subbing to the channel, guys.
Yeah.
Right. So here's how it goes. On the Said Enough podcast, if that Twitter responds to you, that is me. Or if I say something to if it's Harry saying, "Oh yeah, can you reply to them for me?" I'll reply, and then with Harry on the end of it. But it will be me because I control the
login at some point.
I mean, I control the social media because obviously I don't want to give Harry that sort of fucking pressure of him thinking, "Oh, like, oh yeah, all this."
But I mean,
Harry doesn't really like that sort of stuff. Really, he just doesn't like the fuss and shit. So I'll do that. And plus, yeah, I like using the social media anyway. But I'll give him the login details if he wants to respond.
You're more of a social media user than me, really.
But if he responds, if he wants to respond, he'll respond on his personal Twitter. So look out for the replies from him.
Oh yeah, I control my personal Twitter. So.
But yeah, thanks for stopping by. I keep saying thanks for stopping by. But love you guys. Follow us on all our social medias and stuff and all that good stuff. And we'll see you later. Peace out.
Until next time.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. Adios, mi amigos. I'm bilingual, you see.